Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at some more Dreams projects. This time our theme is going to be Crash Bandicoot. Our first project is Crash Bandicoot Island of Wumpa. What I really like about this game, but what really kind of took me by surprise actually, was the PlayStation 2 intro. I thought it was really cool that the developer, thought enough to put that in there, and I thought that was a really cool throwback, and it definitely brought me a lot of nostalgia. But overall, the game itself, I love how the game looks. There were a couple prominent glitches that I want them to kind of iron out later on down the line, but this game is still in alpha, so for the most part it's pretty solid. So if you guys ever get a chance to play it, check it out and enjoy the gameplay. Alright guys, for our next project we're going to be looking at Crash Bandicoot N.Sanity Island. So this is kind of a throwback to Crash Bandicoot Twinsanity in terms of the gameplay. You're essentially just running around as Crash in like this open kind of sandbox, and you're collecting 4 crystals. One thing I really like about this game is how it controls. The game was surprisingly very tight and controlled pretty accurately to how I expect Crash to control. And I also like the little animations here, like particularly the one where you're spinning into the crab and it disappears, and the crystal animation. I thought those were really cool and well done. But yeah, enjoy the gameplay, guys. All right, for the next project we're going to be looking at is called Crash Bandicoot Tripsanity, and that name is very fitting because the level design is is pretty trippy. I actually really like the level design. I like the fact that it is unique and it's not something we necessarily seen in any other Crash game. I like the fact that you see like the Wumpa fruit kind of floating in space and you're using those as platforms, and I also like the callback to the Crash 1 final boss fight with Cortex. I thought that was really well done. If I have any criticism about this game, I would say like the boss fight with Cortex. It takes them a little long to shoot out the green projectiles, so if they can kind of shorten that process a bit, I think that'll be a great game. This game has 7 levels. For the sake of this video's length, I only played the first one, but I do give props to the developer for making a full-fledged Crash fan game. I thought it was really well done, so good job.
Crash Bandicoot. One day I will have Tawna as my trophy wife. Goodbye, Crash Bandicoot. Now be careful not to let him spin back the green plasma blast. 3-fold hits and we're done for. If only he knew. Smashing just happens to be one of his specialties. Oh my God.
Alright guys, for our next title, we're going to be looking at Crash Bandicoot Demo. What I really like about this title is how this game looks. Like everything from the weather effects, the lighting effects, and even how the camera kind of pans during the chase sequence. I thought this game was really well done in terms of the graphics. Of course, Crash's model could use a little bit of work, and some of the box animations could use some work. But overall, as a game, it was pretty solid. I didn't really run into any glaring issues. I did have a little problem with the boulder chase, and it wasn't the game's fault. It was just me just not being good and playing this at like 1 a.m. But yo, I had a fun time with this, and hopefully you guys check it out and check it for yourself. Alright guys, for the next title we're going to be looking at is called Crash Bandicoot Paradox. So what I really like about this, it kind of goes back to the classic trilogy in terms of Crash moving on a 2D plane. So there's no 3D interaction here necessarily. You can't pan the camera, so you're essentially just running in a straight line. What I like about this game is how it looks. It looks very promising, and I'm excited to see what the developer does with this formula. Alright guys, our next title is simply called Crash Bandicoot Dreams. This is pretty much like a collectathon open sandbox world. I only played one level, and I'm kind of curious to play the other levels off video and off stream, just to kind of, for my own enjoyment for the most part. But I love how this game looks. Like, as far as aesthetically, this is probably one of the better looking Crash games. I like the water graphics. The only The only thing I can really criticize here is Crash is a bit heavy when he jumps, a little too heavy. A lot of times where I'm making jumps, I get so scared and get anxious because I don't know if I'm going to make that jump or not. But overall, I love how the game looks, and I like this whole concept of just running around in the sandbox collecting things. So I think this project is cool, and once they fine-tune it, I'll be looking forward to playing the full game. All right, guys, now we're getting into my personal favorite game that I played throughout this video. This is called Crash Bandicoot N.Spired. I absolutely love everything about this game. I love the way the game controls. I love how the game looks. And that third level, oh my goodness, was so well done. The level where Crash turns into like a werewolf type deal. I don't know if that was inspired by Sonic and the Werehog, but yo, to me personally, this is probably my favorite Crash-inspired project that I played on Dreams, and I'm really looking forward to the complete game. So whenever you guys get a chance, this game is called Crash Bandicoot N.Spired. Oh, so good. Just check out the gameplay. Alright guys, for our next project we're looking at Tawna's first tale. You know, I always like the idea of Tawna and less represented characters in the Crash Bandicoot franchise getting their own shine. You know, Tawna is a character that I feel doesn't get enough representation and love in the Crash Bandicoot franchise to begin with. So the fact that somebody thought about her enough to give her her own title was pretty cool in my book. And the game actually plays pretty solid. Essentially, you're running around this sandbox just collecting gems. So that's pretty much the name of the game here. So nothing too crazy. Actually, Tawna's model controls and look well, and yeah, I'm down for it, so check it out. Alright guys, and for the final game we're going to look at for this showcase is called Crash's Journey. You know, I really like the, again, another developer who decided to use like the nostalgic Sony PlayStation startup screen. I thought that was really well done, but also in the game itself, it looks like it takes place, or at least inspired by Mario's Mushroom Kingdom, and kind of inspired by Galaxy. What I really like about this, though, the game ironically controlled, at first was a little off-putting, but I kind of got used to it, but I actually grew to like this game quite a bit, and even like the whole thing with Crash running on top of a bunch of PlayStation 1s for a stairway, I thought was really kind of wacky as well. So this game definitely has potential, and I will be following to see what other levels they add. So yeah, it was a very fun game to play, and I enjoyed it for the most part.